So as you can already tell from the title of this video, I have some very exciting news to share with you. I am starting a podcast. Actually, by the time you see this, I will have already started a podcast and it is out into the world. So I'm going to be sharing with you the name of the podcast, what it's about, and what things are gonna look like going forward here on my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, I am Joy, and I help photographers step into the role of PHOTOBOSS in their businesses so that they can make more money and go after the life that they love. In 2013, I started a wedding and portrait photography business, and I found out pretty quickly it was gonna take a lot more than just being able to take good photos to build a successful business. A couple years after I started my business, I created this YouTube channel, and I wanted to connect and help with other photographers who were in the same boat as me just a couple years prior. Since then, I have created a couple of online programs to help photographers connect with their ideal clients and make more money. I've had 2 kids, and I've started business coaching. So a lot of things look very different in my business, but one thing that doesn't look different is how ambitious I still am and how entrepreneurial I still am. And since that hasn't gone anywhere, I've found that I have a new passion for connecting with entrepreneurial, ambitious women who are also being intentional mothers. Now, I had the idea for a brand or community or something in this realm for a while. I actually bought the domain name for my podcast 2 years ago after I'd been a mom for a year with my first daughter. And I bought that domain, I sat on it, I didn't really do anything with it because I didn't know exactly what form this was gonna take in the next step for my business, right? And until a couple months ago, at the very end of last year, it clicked and I realized this needed to become first and foremost a podcast, and then hopefully a community and a full brand as well. So I eventually made the decision to move forward with this podcast, and I am thrilled to announce to you the name of my podcast. It is the Called to Both podcast, a podcast for ambitious women who are also intentional mothers and what that's gonna look like to navigate in their lives. And I'm going to be doing a combination of guest interviews, but also some solo episodes. So we're gonna be diving deeper into what that actually looks like to build a sustainable business, to build a team, to lead your company, but also to be an intentional and present parent. And I think that this is so needed and so relevant in this creative space, and I'm really excited to have a small part of this in my own business and now with the Called to Both podcast. You can now listen to the Called to Both podcast on all major podcast players. I will link a bunch down below, including Spotify, Stitcher, Apple. But the point here is it's ready and live for you to listen and dive into. And the really cool thing is there's actually already 3 episodes live at the time of this recording. And so you can dive in immediately, hear my journey, details about YouTube that you've never heard before, hear how my business has changed and grown since having kids, and a couple of mindset tips that I have for you if you are a parent that is trying to be a creative entrepreneur at the same time. And so these are some things that have helped me in my business that I know are gonna serve you in yours as well. So the number one question I've been getting asked is, why not a photography podcast? Or they just say, okay, I can't wait, it's definitely gonna be about photography, right? And I have a couple of answers for this. And the first is, I have thought about a photography podcast before. Trust me, guys. I have been asked to do a photography podcast, and I've been on other people's photography podcasts. And I think I always knew that I had the perfect space to talk about photography here on this channel already, and I didn't feel the need to add another platform if it was gonna be the same content, right? I feel that there are so many other people doing podcasting for photographers so well and so beautifully that I would prefer to be a guest on their podcast, but reserve my voice in the podcasting world for something new, for something different. And I always knew it was gonna have something to do with business and entrepreneurship and marketing and branding. But now that I also know there's gonna be this element of motherhood and lifestyle and just the grittiness of life mixed in, I know that this is right for me and that this is the next step, and that there would be no point in me starting a photography podcast because this visual platform here on YouTube is the perfect place for me to talk to you guys and share with you what I'm doing in photography and what you could be doing in your photography business as well. So for me, this just makes more sense, but I just so appreciate the question. I think this is the natural next question, seeing as everything I've done up to this point has been very photography focused. And then the next question that I've gotten is, will you still be making YouTube videos? What is gonna happen with this channel? The quick answer is yes, I am still gonna be making YouTube videos. I have a whole bunch of new videos now recorded for you all. I took a brief break from recording, kind of unintentionally, just a lot of life stuff happening at the beginning of 2022, but we now have a whole queue of videos queued up, and we're gonna be talking about lots of editing, Lightroom, business tips, behind the scenes, a little bit of everything here on the channel, including some entrepreneurial day in the life type of videos as well, which I think is gonna be really cool for you guys to see. What does this look like for me to produce this kind of content with kids at home? What does it look like for me to film for YouTube, but then also have a podcast? And so I wanna share more of that here on this channel. So the channel's not going anywhere. The channel is going to be more consistent, and I am still going to be publishing YouTube videos on a weekly basis here on Joy Michelle Photography. I would also love to hear from you all what you want to see more of here on this channel. Now that I'm back into the swing of things recording and I'm planning out my content, especially into the summer and beyond, I would love to know what you guys want to see more of. If you have a video suggestion or even a question that you'd like me to answer in a video, please go ahead, throw it in the comment section and let me know. I'm going to be planning out and filming for the summer in the next couple of weeks here. And so I'm kind of in this like idea gathering phase. So let me know what you guys would like to see more of here on this channel. So be sure to check out the Called to Both podcast. You can listen in on all the major podcast players. Thank you guys so much for sharing about the podcast, for following me onto a new platform, for letting me into your earbuds while you're in the car, while you're driving and doing all the things that you're doing while you're editing. It's not lost on me how loyal and incredible you guys are. And I just want to thank you so much for being on this journey with me here on YouTube, and also for those of you who come with me over to the podcast. I just want to thank you so much for your loyalty. I'm going to put all kinds of links down below. I would love a 5-star review if you're someone that listens to podcasts. That's going to help me get the word out about this brand new podcast. I just want to get this into the earbuds of as many women as possible who are really trying to do both of these things beautifully. They want to pursue business. They are ambitious and have ideas and a calling, but also want to be present and intentional moms. And I think that those things can be done together and can be done beautifully. And that's going to be my mission with Called to Both. So thank you for supporting my mission, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.